Apologies for the interruption in transmission there. We did just miss the men's 17 years and over 100 butterfly final. Now on to the women's 15 years 200 meters backstroke final. Just because of that little drop off, we might take just a second to get some of the things back up and running as we would expect them to run. So you might see that your running clock in the bottom isn't quite there yet. Well, we'll be there in just a moment's time. Swimmers in the 15 years 200 back: Isabel McCorkle for Gainsborough in 0, Abby Tunnicliffe for Derby Excel in 1, Evie Farrar for Leander in 2, Millie King for Derby Excel in 3, 4, Erin Gent for Repton, 5, Darcy Platts for the City of Leicester, 6, Elizabeth Palfrey for Loughborough, 7, Julia Joswiak for the City of Leicester, 8, Charlotte Byron for Melton Mowbray, and 9, Charlotte Hodgkin for the City of Lincoln. 1:11.01 means that Erin Gent was over first at 100 metres. Swimming in lane 4 here, entered, or swam in the heats, I should say, sorry, in a 2:30.01. None of these swimmers underneath 2 minutes 30 just yet. And we'll see if Gent can do that here. 1:49.24. She's a long way ahead of the rest of the pool, considering that she was only 0.69 ahead of Darcy Platts in the heats. This is going to be a lot less tight than that because there's clear water between her and the rest of the pool, and Millie King seems to be sat in second position in lane 3 as we approach the wall. There's no doubt at all about the fact that Erin Gent is going to take the regional gold medal. 2:26.79 for Erin Gent to take the gold. Wow, that is massively underneath the time she went in the heats. 2:26.79 for Erin Gent to take gold. Millie King silver, 2:30.06. That's a couple of seconds underneath her heat swim as well. Darcy Platts third, and Darcy Platts, well, she actually went quicker as well than her heat swim, and yet takes the bronze medal away. 2:26.79 for Erin Gent. I think she knew exactly how to swim that race there. Well, we now have the 16 years 200 metres backstroke final. Francesca Hallam-Stott of Grantham in 0, Ruby Credland for Bassetlaw in 1, Grace Turner for Grantham in 2, Amelia Chescheek for Northampton in 3, 4 is Millie Wells for the City of Leicester, 5 Rachel Webb for Bassetlaw, 6 Amreen Sanghera for the City of Leicester, Macy Walton for the City of Leicester in lane 7, 8 Isabel Brailsford for Derby Excel, 9 Imogen Stamp for Radford. This should be Millie Wells's race. No doubt about that. So yeah, as I said, 2:19.29 for Millie Wells to be the fastest seed into this final. That is 6 clear seconds ahead of Rachel Webb in lane 5. Quite the swim from someone else to quite the swim from someone else to be able to catch up with Wells here. It is Wells over first, 33.33. Rachel Webb over second, 33.52. So only 0.2 of a second at the 50-metre turn. Webb seems to have tried to go out with Wells. Can she stick there? Is the important question. .108.93 for Millie Wells. 109, sorry, 7-1 for Rachel Webb. And you can see on his third 50, Millie Wells stepping it up now. Rachel Webb trying to stick on her heels as much as she can. Of course, backstroke is the most difficult stroke to see where anyone else is in the pool. Of course, we always encourage swimmers to swim their own race and to not focus on anyone else. Well, in backstroke, you don't really have a whole lot of choice. It's almost impossible to see where anybody else is, other than maybe getting a slight glimpse on the turn. Well, Millie Wells is a fair bit ahead now and showing no signs of slowing down. It was 147.66 for Rachel Webb with 50 to go. 148.71, sorry, 149.71 for Amelia Cheschik. So a couple of seconds ahead of her for Webb, and I'd say a couple of seconds ahead of Webb for Wells. It is Wells that takes the gold, 220.94, just shy of her heat swim time. Rachel Webb, 223.97. That's a couple of seconds faster than she went in the heats. Amelia Cheschik takes the bronze medal in a 226.72. Again, that's a second or so faster than her heat swim. And now we have the big final, the 17 years and over final in the 200 backstroke. Madeline Soper goes in lane 0 for Uni of Nottingham. Iona Colbert of Nova is in 1. 2, Rose Gubbins for Nova Centurion. 3, Holly Marshall for Repton. 4, Honey Osrin for Loughborough Uni. 5 is Lucy Hitchin for Repton. 6, Holly Robinson for Repton. 7 is Kate Morris for Nova Centurion. 8, Anna Farrow for the City Leicester. 9 is Eleanor Broughton for Repton. Honey Osrin only actually has a couple of seconds on Lucy Hitchin. And it is on her times here. She only went 0.06 slower in the heats than she went in the final of the British Championships. So expecting Osrin to probably go for this here. She doesn't really have a lot to lose. Came 7th in that final with her 2:15.33 and then went 2:15.39 in the heats. As I pointed out, if she had managed to go her best time in that final, 2:10.30, then she would have qualified fastest, or she would have won, sorry, the British Swimming Championships, which is quite an impressive accolade to have. But in fairness, with training cycles, etc., that particular swim was swum at an international competition in the summer. Swimmers are always geared to swim their absolute best in the summer, and you're always going to pick it up on a big stage. So clearly Osrin did that back in 2019 and set that fantastic 2:10.30 time. She's going for it here though. 105.57. That's going to be a little bit underneath, I'd suggest, unless she's going to negative split this 200 back. It's going to be underneath her best time, but it's not going to be far outside, I wouldn't say. Lucy Hitchin in 5 is keeping on her toes, but I think that Osrin should be pretty safe. Osrin's turn at the top end, 140.23, 142.40 for Hitchin, so over 2 seconds gap between the two swimmers. Where third comes from, a little bit of a toss-up really between lanes 1, 2 and free, but first and second seem pretty open and closed here. Honey Osrin is all going to be about the time for her. She knew that she could win this final. It's just going to be seeing in what kind of a time she can take the gold. 2:13.93 is the answer for Honey Osrin. Silver goes to Lucy Hitchin, and the gold to Holly Marshall, but a big improvement for Osrin from heats to final there. Hitchin 2:16.80. Well, that's half a second, a little bit more than that, 0.7 of a second ahead of her heat swim 2. Holly Marshall 2:18.77. Similar, actually more there. Almost a full second ahead of her heat swim to take the bronze. Okay, we go now on to slightly longer final. Coming up next is the men's 15 years and over 400 metres IM final. And Daniel Walker for Nova Centurion goes in 0. 1. Samuel Cook for Corby. 2. Finley Caudle for Repton. Rico Bridgman for South Links in 3. 4. Charles Kershaw for Loughborough University. Adam Wilson for Loughborough Uni in 5. 6. Luke Stevens for the City of Leicester. Elliot Sibley for Nova in 7. 8 is James Lake for Loughborough. And as I said on the stream of the relays, if somehow you are watching swimming for the first time, if you've just randomly picked up this stream and you decided to watch, hi, hello, thanks for watching, thanks for enjoying our sport. But the medley relay that you saw where we did 100 of each stroke, this is that, except one person does all 4 100s on their own accord, and we do them in a different order. Fly first, then back, then breast, and finally freestyle. Charles Kershaw in lane 4 is the defending champion. He was the winner in 2022. Apologies for the delay in speaking there. We've been sat still in this cupboard for so long that the lights decided to turn off on us, so had to establish what we could see. 25 metres to go until the final turn of this 400 IM. Charles Kershaw, as I said, was the winner in 2022. Swam for Loughborough University. Swam a 4:38.25 in the heats. His PB was the time that he set a year ago in the final of this 400 IM to win the gold medal, and it was 4:30.01. So this final is a 15 years and over straight final. All swimmers aged 15 years and over. Every swimmer who swam the 400 IM, there's only the one final of this that we offer. So qualifying for it was that little bit more challenging, especially for the younger swimmers. There are a few 16-year-olds in here. Actually, 4 16-year-olds swimming. Sorry, 3 16-year-olds swimming. It is Kershaw that takes the gold medal. 4:35.58 for Charles Kershaw to retain his East Midlands regional title. Adam Wilson is second with a 4:42 flat, and that's, well, a second and a half underneath his heat swim. Rico Bridgman is third with a 4:44.34, and that is, yeah, similar. 2.2 seconds underneath his heat swim.
So swimmers out this end, swimmers ready at the far end. As these are now 50-metre finals in the next 3 events. First is event 315, women's 15 years, 50 metres butterfly final. Lane 0, Connie Renard.
We will now have the 50-metre butterfly event. These are going to come quicker than you could imagine, really. Women's 50 fly. In previous years, of course, we did all the 50s on one day. I don't think I would have stopped talking all day in that case. Connie Renard of Repton goes in 0. Evie Farrar for Leander in 1. Millie King for Derby Excel in 2. Alyssa Lowe for the City of Leicester in 3. 4. Anna Tyers for Derby Excel. 5. Olivia Anstey for Louv in 6. Olivia Beard for Nova Centurion. 7. Janet Funk for Nova. 8. Winifred Owen for the City of Lincoln Pentaqua. And 9 is Emily Wynne for the City of Leicester.
Everybody can leave chairs on poolside overnight, provided they're tidied away from the pool edge, so pretty well towards the wall, and not blocking any walkways, emergency exits, or other means of ingress or egress.
Well, Anna Tyers in the centre lane, the only swimmer under 30 seconds. 29.56 was her heat swim. Can she go any quicker than that here? Olivia Anstey in second fastest, 30.34. So Tyers has almost a full second's worth of lead on a 50, which is exceptionally impressive. 15 metres to go, and Tyers looks like she is going to take the gold medal. It's just going to be about how fast she can go, really, into the last 5. Tyers takes the gold medal. Her finish time is going to be under 30. I think it is, yeah, 29.41. 30 flat exactly for Olivia Anstey to come second and pick up a silver medal. Alyssa Lowe takes the bronze in 30.14. Tyers with the gold, Anstey with the silver, Lowe with the bronze. We now have the 16 years 50 fly final, and Libby Walsh of Swadlincote goes in 0. 1 is Charlotte Room for Derby Excel. 2, Eve Turnbull for Carlton Forum. 3 is Grace Wingham for Kettering. Mia Copping for Lincoln Vulcans in 4. 5, Mia Matthews for Northampton. 6, Arabella Green for Repton. 7, Lily Tappan for Corby. 8 is Amy Willets for Melton Mowbray. 9 is Samantha Miller for Repton. Well, again, as we saw a couple of times, this 16 years final expected to be slower than the 15 years final. No swimmer in the heats from this final went under the 30-second barrier. It's going to be a lot closer, though. Only 0.2 of a second between Copping in 4, Matthews in 5. Into the final 5 metres, and 3 or so swimmers are swimming at the wall together. I think it's going to come from 4 or 5. It is lane 5. Mia Matthews, 30.21, takes the gold medal. The silver came from Mia Copping, just 7/100ths behind. Arabella Green takes the bronze. Gold for Matthews, silver for Copping, bronze for Green. That was a fantastic last few metres from Matthews, because it looked for all the world like Copping was going to get there first. Last final of the 50 butterfly. 0 is Anna Stansfield for the Uni of Nottingham. In 1, Anna Farrow for the City of Leicester. 2 is Emma Croker for South Links. Loughborough Uni have Clementine Lavelle in 3, Harriet Rogers in 4, Maisie Elliott in 5, 6 Constance Phillips for Nova Centurion, 7 Ellie Tennant for Derby Excel, 8 is Katie Founds for the City of Lincoln, 9 is Paige Fenton for Loughborough University. 3 Loughborough University swimmers in the centre of the pool, 4, 5 and 3. Could we have a 1, 2, 3 here from Loughborough Uni? Also Paige Fenton out on the outside in lane 9, representing the university as well. 27.29 was Harriet Rogers' time in the heats. We already saw Harriet Rogers win the 100 freestyle. She's got straight back in the pool to swim the 50 fly, and she's going to take this by a fair way. Look at that, a body length on the rest of the pool. Harriet Rogers takes the touch in 27.19. That is exactly a 1/10 of a second faster than she went this morning. Maisie Elliott is second with a 28.23. And third, Constance Phillips. And Phillips there breaking up the Loughborough Uni 1-2-3, taking her bronze for Nova Centurion. Now have the men's 200 breaststroke final. 15 years. Gilbert Bailey of Leander in 0. 1 is Jacob Briz for Deepings. 2, Oliver Henshaw for Balpermarlin. 3 is Aman Tethi for Rushton. Nova have Nicholas Suku Pavola in 4, Oliver Richmond in 5, Max Holland in 6. 7 is Aidan Fitzgibbon for the City of Lincoln. 8 is Harrison Grix-White for Dronfield. 9 is Dylan Smith for Radford. So 200 breaststroke final this time round. Suku Pavola of Nova, 2:35.72, puts him over 2 seconds ahead of Oliver Richmond in lane 5. But we've seen heats leads to final swims change, certainly. We've seen people that have had 2 seconds coming into a final already so far this evening, and that difference just gets completely wiped out when they get back in the water in the evening. to swim their final. And you can see this here. Oliver Richmond, teammate of Nicholas Sauko Pavola, has pulled level with him. And does Richmond have enough here to stick with Sauko Pavola? 1:16.13 for Sauko Pavola. Says that he was over second. Looked to me like he was over first. Sometimes on a turn like that, the swimmers will touch really lightly and it will be the feet that will pick up the turn, and that's why sometimes you can see that they clearly touch first, and actually it's the feet that activated the sensor. So Richmond 1:15.76, Sauko Pavola 1:16.13. Sauko Pavola is going to be over first, certainly, at the top end. 1:56.87 to 1:57.01. 0.2 of a second between them at 50 to go. Can Richmond hang on here, or will Sauko Pavola beat him on the final 50? 25 left. And Richmond really is sticking with him. He really is going for it. But if he's going to go, he needs to go now. And just as I've said that, you can see he's tried to speed up the stroke count. I don't think he's going to get there inside the last 5 meters, but he's certainly going to give it as much of a go as he possibly can. Sauko Pavola, I think, gets there first. He does 2:35.43 for the Nova Centurion swimmer. 2:35.43 is just under half a second faster than he went in the heats. Oliver Richmond, 2:35.82. Well, that is 2 seconds, more than 2 seconds quicker than he went in the heats. Amantethi picks up a bronze medal for Rushden with a 2:39.56. That's down from a 2:41 flat in the heats as well. So another faster swim, heats to finals. Now have the men's 16 years 200 metres breaststroke final. Christopher Oliver of Long Eaton goes in 0. Jacob Hodgkinson for Bassetlaw in 1. Man of Mystery for Northampton in 2. 3 is James Lake for Loughborough. Cole Stevens of Chesterfield in 4. 5 Paul Page for the City of Leicester. 6 is George Cummings for Notts Leander. 7 Cameron Bell for Rushden. 8 Stefano Fior for South Links. 9 is Jacob Millward for Nova Centurion. Well, Cole Stevens again has 2 seconds on Paul Page here. But I said that in the last one, and the lead dropped down to less than half a second. Will we see a similar story in this second of the 200 breaststroke finals? Second of the 200 breaststroke finals, and this one for the 16 years age group. Cole Stevens in the centre, swimming for Chesterfield here, is leading as we would expect. He has 2 seconds based on heats, wearing the bright pink Chesterfield hat. 6 is George Cummings for Nottingham Leander, and he's sat in silver medal position at the moment. Went at 2:40.66. Over a second, well over a second slower than Paul Page, who is currently beating in lane 5. And the noise starts to increase just a little bit inside at Moorways Sporting Village as we turn onto the final 50. Just 25 metres left of that. A really good swim here from George Cummins in lane 6, but on the outside, keep a look at Manav Mystery over in lane 2, who's really going for it, and James Lake in lane 3, also really putting in a push for medals at the last moment into the last 5 metres. The gold's going to come from the centre, Cole Stevens, in a 2:35.91, but the silver and bronze were very tight. 2:37.04 for George Cummins in lane 6 to take silver. Manav Mystery picks up a bronze from lane 2. 2:37.58 for the Northampton swimmer to take home a bronze medal. On to the final 200 breaststroke final. After this, we do have the women's 200 IM and then the men's 200 freestyle to come. But the men's 17 years and over 200 breast final is first. 0 Oliver Coville for the City of Leicester. Mackenzie Cannon for Loughborough Uni goes in 1. 2 Elliot Sibley for Nova. 3 Jack Blair for Chesterfield. Harvey Freeman of Loughborough in 4. 5 Callum Melville for Nova Centurion. 6 Ben Harrison for Loughborough Uni. Thomas White of Nova is in lane 7. 8 Henry Crust for City Lincoln. 9 is Kieran Howard for Radford. Well, Harvey Freeman obviously fastest in this final because he's in lane 4, and that's where the fastest person goes. But Freeman, he came 5th at the British Championships in April, set a personal best time of 2:15.31 at those championships. Time this morning was this afternoon rather, was 2:18.92. I tell you what, on the outside here, lane 6, Ben Harrison of Loughborough Uni going with Harvey Freeman here, both swimming for Loughborough University. It is Harvey Freeman who goes over first, 1:07.48, 1:08.39 for Harrison, who is just under a second behind. And it's Freeman followed by 3 men with lane 4, 5 and 6 all pretty much in a straight line behind Harvey Freeman. Blair in 3, Melville in 5, Harrison in 6. I'd be very surprised if anyone can catch Harvey Freeman here. The 200 breaststroke is his event. Into the last 50 of this 200 breaststroke race. 2:18.92 was Harvey Freeman's heat swim. Will he be there or thereabouts on this final? Into the last 25. I think it's difficult to say, actually. The silver and the bronze are very exciting, though. Lane 3 could be in with a chance of taking the silver, but Melville could take it as well from 5. It's going to come right down to the last few metres. Freeman does take the gold, 2:19.19, a little bit outside his heat swim. Jack Blair, though, 2:20.20. That takes the silver. And it's down from a 2:21.42 from this afternoon as well. So he's improved by over a second. Callum Melville takes the bronze. And again, he's down by a similar kind of margin with a 2:20.70. Ben Harrison only 14/100ths from a regional medal. Well, as I've said a couple of times, and I do apologise for this, I am stuck in my little cupboard and unable to hear all the announcements that are happening outside. However, it does look like we are pausing for another 10 minutes to have a 10-minute cool down in the main pool. So we will be back with you in 10 minutes time. See you again at just after 22:06. Hello and welcome back to our live coverage of the Swim England East Midlands Region Championships, day number 3 here at the beautiful new Moorways Sporting Village in Derby. Already seen a whole host of swimming over the course of the day and the evening finals session, and still 6 more finals to go here. The first of those is the women's 15 years 200 metres individual medley final. 0 is Emily Wynne for the City of Leicester. Freya Jones of Nova goes in 1. Kate Andrews for the City of Leicester in 2. Olivia Anstey for Louth in 3. 4, Darcy Platts for the City of Leicester. 5, Philippa Hickman for Nova. In fact, Nova have Amita Ballantyne in 6, Janet Fung in 7, and Olivia Beard in 8. 9 is Charlotte Byron for Melton Mowbray. And Olivia Anstey was over first at halfway, 110.98 for the swimmer in lane 3. Swimmer time of 2:30.70 in the heats. Seems to be absolutely going for it in this final, being caught though by lane 5, and that is Philippa Hickman of Nova Centurion. Hickman already went a PB time in the heats. She went 2:29.85, down from a 2:31.74. And that was a 1.89 second PB. Well, she's going to be underneath that time again here, I think, or certainly close to that, I should think. Into the wall she comes, 2:28.41. Yeah, she shaves another second and a bit, almost a second and a half off her personal best time to take the regional gold medal. Silver came from Olivia Anstey, who had a good swim in lane 3. Darcy Platts, 2:31.97. She takes the bronze medal. Into the 16 years 200 metres IM final. 0 is Ava Buxton for Nottingham Leander. Emily Parkins for Nova Centurion in 1. 2, Lily Freeman for Northampton. Charlotte Room for Derby Excel in 3. 4, Anna Farr for the City of Leicester. 5 is Lily Tappan for Corby. In 6, Millie Wells for the City of Leicester. 7, Grace Wingham for Kettering. 8 is Mia Matthews for Northampton. 9, Olivia Marshall for Derby Excel. And second of the 200 IM finals is go. 2:27.92 was Anna Farr's time in the heats, and it gave her 2 seconds on Lily Tappan in lane 5. But Anna Farr has more to give than she gave in the heats if she wants to. 2:23.32 is her PB for 200 IM, and actually Farr won the silver medal at the British Summer Championships this summer. So, a very talented swimmer, swimming very well within her age group. It'll be interesting to see what kind of a time she clocks in this final now. It is, for the moment, lane 6 leading Millie Wells from the city of Leicester. 2:30.61 was her heat swim. That means she should be about 3 seconds behind Anna Farr, but she certainly isn't at halfway. Wells leading 1:08.96, 1:09.29 for Anna Farr. So not a huge margin between those two swimmers. In fact, it looked like there was more on the camera than there was in reality. 25 metres left of the breaststroke, and Farr really starting to make this 200 IM her own here. Didn't look so sure in the first half, but now, after a commanding breaststroke third 50, seems unlikely that anyone is going to be able to take it from here. 1:52.06 as a split time. And now 25 metres to go. It's absolutely going to be Anna Farr that takes the gold medal here. Where the silver and bronzes come from is a little bit more up for debate, but Anna Farr is going to take the gold medal. Her finish time, 2:27.18. Well, that's almost a second quicker than she went in the heats. She takes the gold with ease, really. Charlotte Room picks up a silver, 2:28.87. Lily Tappan takes away the bronze medal with a 2:29.11. And that's another PB for Tappan. PB'd to get into lane 5 of that final. And PB'd by 0.7 of a second. And she just took another 0.4 or so off the time that she set earlier. So a good swim to take the bronze medal there. Next, the girls 17 years and over. 200 IM final. Lane 0 is Asia Coe for Derby Excel. 1, Hannah Bowley for Repton. 2, Iona Colbert for Nova Centurion. Holly Marshall of Repton is in 3. 4 is Holly Robinson for Repton. 5 is Anna Farrow for the City of Leicester. 6 is Amy Davies for the Uni of Nottingham. 7 is Eleanor Broughton for Repton. 8 is Kate Morris for Nova Centurion. 9 is Abby Mitchell for the City of Leicester. Over halfway through this 200 IM final. Holly Robinson of Repton can go quicker than she went in the heat. She went 2:19.51 to qualify fastest into this final. 2:17.90 though is her lifetime best. So we know that she does have more to give than she gave today. But I said earlier on, not every swim is about achieving a PB. It's about whatever target the swimmer and their coach happen to have set. Sometimes you'll go out and try something completely different just to see if it works. Maybe it'll be about feeling the water, race strategy. There's all sorts of different things that these swimmers will be focusing on, but I think that Holly Robinson, at the moment, is focusing on the gold medal that she is about to receive. 5 meters to go until she claims that gold medal and a regional title. The time that she does it in is 2:21.31. Nowhere close, actually, to as quick as she went in the heats, but she didn't need to in order to take the gold and the win. Holly Marshall picks up the silver, 2:23.98. Bronze for Anna Farrow in 2:24.07. I think all those times actually slower heats to final. On to the last block of finals then. This is the start of the 200 freestyle finals. 15 years. 0 is Tyler Holland for the City of Leicester. You've got Sam Mesa of Repton in 1. Eden Rowe for Northampton in 2. Oscar Goldsmith for South Lancs in 3. 4 is Archie Dandy for the City of Leicester. 5, Lane Keyworth for Bassett Law. 6 is Mario Vasconcelos Blanche for Northampton. 7, Jack Bignall for Northampton. 8, Harrison Clark for Nova. 9 is Luke Chambers for Nova Centurion. And final number 1 is go. Archie Dandy was the fastest swimmer into this final and the fastest swimmer by a fair margin too. Swam a time of 2:01.76 to qualify fastest. 2:01.76 to qualify fastest. 2:04.17 was the second fastest time. So we're talking about a gap of, 2 and a bit seconds for Archie Dandy here. I will be surprised if anyone comes close to catching him. Lane Keyworth is sat on his heels though and is over second at halfway. Dandy 58.10, 59.77 for Keyworth, so over a second gap in it, but Keyworth trying his best to stick with Dandy if he can. 200 freestyle PP for Dandy is 2:03.05. Well, he absolutely smashed that in the heats to set a PB of over a second. .29 was the difference between those times. That was the PB that Dandy set. Could he go for another one in this final? It would be a big, big ask. 15 meters to go. Dandy is definitely going to take the gold medal. Where the silver comes from, though, because watch lane number 2 up at the top of your screen there. Eden Rowe is coming thick and fast on the outside. It is Dandy that gets the gold. 2:01.60. Yep, that is another PB for Archie Dandy. That was quicker than his heat swim, which was already a PB, so he's just shaved off another 16/100ths. Lane Keyworth got the silver, 2:03.35, 2:03.59 for Eden Rowe, who had a real late sprint to the wall. Looked like he might sneak in and take the silver medal in the last few meters. Just touched out by Lane Keyworth. All right then, penultimate final of the evening. Only one more final to come after this. This is the 16 years 200 freestyle final. 0 is Daniel Walker for Nova in 1. Alex Sadler for South Lancs. Then City of Leicester have Daniel Harris in 2. Sammy Prizer in 3. And Jacob Mills in 4. Ben Gibbons of Northampton is in 5. Elliot Barker of Northampton in 6. James Gannicott for the City of Leicester in 7. 8 is James Berry for Radford. And 9 is Evan Hawley for Nova Centurion. Jacob Mills was the only swimmer who went under the 2-minute marker in the heats. He came 10th swimming under the Leicester Sharks banner at the British Summer Championships in the 15 years final. That time there was 2:01.47. Not his best time though. His best time was 1:58.60, and that was swum at this event last year at Sheffield. 1:58.60 is his time to beat here, and it seems that he's going to have to go and do it alone, but he's certainly not going to win this gold medal the easy way. Lane 7 trying to go with here. 7 is James Gannicott for the City of Leicester. And he is comfortably in second position at the moment. So the two City of Leicester swimmers looking for a gold and silver medal in this final. 25 metres to go now for Jacob Mills in lane 4. He's going to take the gold medal. The only question is, will he take it faster than his PB? He may well do, you know. He's going to be right on it. 1:58.60 is the PB. What is the finish time? It is 1:58.98, just outside his lifetime best from last year. 1:58.60 is his finish time. James Gannicott, 2:03.23. Ben Gibbons, 2:03.52. They pick up silver and bronze. Very little between those two swimmers. Very, very little. But Mills, there was never anyone close. Well, the 200 freestyle is considered by many to be British swimming's best event. We leave it till last at the British Championships because it draws crowds, because it builds excitement. It is probably the final that people wait around for, is the men's 200 freestyle final. GB currently has the gold medal in the 4x2 Olympic relay, and we really could go for that 4x2 relay world record this year as well. So the 200 freestyle, probably the most exciting event in British swimming right now. And this time we do it at regionals. Men's 17 years and over 200 metre freestyle relay is in the pool. Most of these swimmers are Loughborough Uni. Not all though. 0 is City Leicester's Jacob Lee. Loughborough Uni have Tom Barden in 1. Jake Hutchinson for City Leicester goes in 2. 3 is Alexander Harrand for Derby Excel, and then we have Loughborough Uni in 4 through 9, William Bell in 4, 5 is Calvin Fry, 6 Ben Harrison, 7 Luke Ibbison, 8 Alexander Casey, 9 Samuel Tucker, and there isn't a huge amount in this final either. 1:53.53 for Bell, Fry 1:54.68, so we are talking over a second, but we've certainly seen leads of that amount disappear pretty much overnight. Bell, PB time 1:49.80. He has dropped under that 1:50 marker before. His 2023 champs time was 1:51.62. Not sure that we'll see him go that quick here, but you never know. 25 metres to go until we see the final time. Let's have a look at his 100 metres split. It was 54.85. Just shy of the time, the split time that he went at British Champs. So he's not going to be far off his season's best here, I don't think. William Bell in lane 4. 25 metres left of this race, left of the day of swimming here at Moorways. And there's no doubt about the fact, really, is that William Bell is going to take the gold medal here. Where the silver and bronzes come from is a little bit more ambiguous, but William Bell takes the gold medal in 1:52.35. He didn't need to go any faster in order to win, that's for sure. Ben Harrison picks up the silver, 1:54.13, and the bronze comes from Alexander Harrand from Derby Excel in 1:54.97. And that, ladies and gents, concludes day number 1 of the East Midlands Championships 2023 here from Moorways, Derby. Thank you ever so much for joining us in venue or on the stream. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow from 9:30. Thanks, and see you then. That was a joke, just to make sure that you were still watching. It wasn't that I didn't turn the page, which didn't make sense at all and looked like it was the end of the session, and there was actually still swimming left. My many apologies. I do apologise strongly for that. Swimmers in the women's 15 years 50 breaststroke. 0 is Matilda Herries for Loughborough. 1 is Alice Green for Swadlincote. 2, Olivia Anstey for Louth. In 3, Philippa Hickman for Nova Centurion. 4, Neve Dunbar for the City of Leicester. 5, Madeline Smith-Waite for City Lincoln. 6, Phoebe Wogan for Derby Excel. 7, Connie Renard for Repton. 8, Caitlin Butters for Bassett Law. 9, Emily Wynne for the City of Leicester. And we are over with that first 50-metre breaststroke final. Neve Dunbar, 35.04. Wow, there was only 2/100ths of a second in that final. Madeline Smith-Waite from the City of Lincoln is second. As we move to our next heat, this one, the 16 years, sorry, next final. This one, the 16 years 50-metre breaststroke final. Jasmine Hodgkins Taylor of Colville in 0. 1, Zoe Bouchra for Etwall. In 2, Emily Batchelor for Kettering. Grace Wingham of Kettering in 3. 4, Anna Farr for the City of Leicester. 5, Mabel Walker for Repton. 6 is Lola Halmshaw for Radford. 7 is Isla Perry-Taylor for Balpermarlin. 8, Tegan Gray for Gainsborough. 9 is Eve Turnbull for Carlton Forum. Women's 50 breaststroke 16 years final, and Neve Dunbar fastest in, 35.11, 35.98 for Philippa Hickman, who we've already seen in action a fair few times so far this evening. Into the last few, and close between Hickman, Dunbar and Smith-Waite. I don't know which way round it's going to go. Sorry, between Wingham Farr and Walker. It is Farr that takes it. Walker is second. Wingham is third. Anna Farr taking the gold medal there. 34.88, 35.36 for Mabel Walker. Grace Wingham picks up a silver with a 35.61. As we move on to the 17 years and over 50-metre breaststroke final. 0 is Anna Stansfield for Uni of Nottingham. Holly Robinson for Repton in 1. Paige Fenton for Loughborough Uni in 2. 3, Emily Farr for the City of Leicester. 4, Hannah Bowley for Repton. 5, Kira Fletcher for Nova. 6, Katie Founds for the City of Lincoln. 7, Chloe Daybell for Nova Centurion. 8 is Ellie Ward for the Uni of Nottingham. And the 17 years 50 breaststroke final is away. 32, 8-9 for Hannah Bowley, qualified her fastest by over a second. So I'd be surprised if anyone can catch Hannah Bowley here. Into the last 15 metres, and Bowley is ahead. But Fletcher in 5 going with. It is Hannah Bowley that takes it as expected. 32.89 was her heat swim. 32.79 is her final time. Kira Fletcher takes the silver, and Emily Farr picks up the bronze medal. And just to keep you in the loop in terms of what is actually happening, because goodness knows I don't seem to know. We've got the men's 100 backstroke and then the women's 400 freestyle. So 3 heats of the men's 100 back into 1 heat, 1 final of the 400 free. 3 finals of the 100 back, 1 final of the 400 free to bring you. Backstroke start devices seem to be in position. 0 is Eden Rowe for Northampton, and 1 Cole Angel for Kettering, 2 Charlie Jeans for Repton, 3 is Archie Dandy for the City of Leicester, Martin Iankov for Derby Phoenix in 4, 5 Joshua Clark for Grantham, 6 is Harry Milne for Repton, 7 Dylan Jameson for Repton, 8 is Alfie Lynch for Derby Phoenix, 9 Finley Gibson for the City of Leicester. Well, first over was Martin Iankov in lane 4, 30.42 for the Derby Phoenix swimmer. He is going to get to the wall first, no problem at all here. 103.06 was his heat swim. He's going to be on that. 102.97, so drops under the 103 barrier, shaving 0.09 off his qualifying time. Harry Milne is their second, 104.28, and then Joshua Clark takes the bronze medal. Moving on to heat 16, the final of the 100 backstroke in the 16 years age group. 0 is Jack Bunston for the City of Leicester, Matthew Deason for the City of Leicester in 1, 2 Sebastian Ebanks for Derby Excel, 3 Laurel Roberts Burrell for Notts Leander in 4, Jake Franz for Worksup, 5 is Cameron Jameson for Repton, 6 Ben Gibbons for Northampton, and then City of Leicester have Jacob Mills in 7, 8 is James Gannicott, and then 9 is Thomas McMahon for Loughborough. This is really quite an intense set of racing. we are seeing swimmers swim one race and jump back in the pool 20 minutes later and swim another one. Just as I read through and read out these names to you, I recognise ones that I've raised before. 1 minute point 13 for Jake Franz to qualify fastest in this final. Into the final 25 metres of this 100 back final. Jake Franz is going to take this without any bother, really. He had a body length on the rest of the pool, 59.44, puts him under the minute mark. Second for Cameron Jameson, and third for Laurel Roberts Burrell of Notts Leander. 1:01.88 for Roberts Burrell. 1 minute, 0.89 for Cameron Jameson. We now have what is actually the penultimate final. I promise there are only 2 finals left. I have checked over the page this time and then checked again and again. Checked for invisible ink as well. Swimmers in 17 years and over 100 backstroke final. 0 Ethan Randall for Corby. 1 is Oliver Silver for Radford. WXL have Benjamin Twynham in 2. Ethan Lawton in 3. 4 is Tom Barden for Loughborough Uni. 5 Ethan Richards for City of Lincoln. 6 Lewis Warner for Notts Leander. 7 Nathan Morgan for Repton. 8 is Thomas Darf for Colville. 9 is Thomas Summer for Hinckley. Four swimmers went under a minute in this final. Ethan Lawton, Tom Barden, Ethan Richards, Lewis Warner in 3, 4, 5 and 6. We have sub-minute swimmers. But then everybody else in the final is 1:01 or slower. So it is going to be 4 against the rest, really. It's going to come from 3, 4, 5 or 6. And you can tell that already at halfway. Over first, 28.52 was Tom Barden, but 28.55, only 3 100ths behind was Lewis Warner. 28.74 for Ethan Richards. So it is pretty close between those 3 at the 50-metre turn, but Tom Barden in lane 4 is going to take this, I think. He has half a body length on Ethan Richards to his left. He takes the gold medal in 58.21, improving on his heat swim by 7 100ths. Ethan Richards is their second, again, improving on his heat swim by a similar margin, and Lewis Warner third. And 3 for 3 there on Faster Swim's final to heat, or heat to final, I should say, sorry. All right then, the actual last heat, last final of the evening. It is the women's 15 years and over 400 freestyle final. 0 is Chloe Goodridge for Northampton. 1, Livia Kingsland for Nova. Loughborough have Isabel Jobson in 2, Scarlett Orchard in 3, Mia Slevin in 4, Fleur Lewis in 5, Asia Coe of Derby is in 6, 7, Henrietta Diamassa for Repton, 8, Hannah Hodgkiss for Repton, 9, Harry at Oxley for Repton. So 4 uni Loughborough Uni, and 3 Repton swimmers. 1 Derby XL, 1 Nova, and 1 Northampton. 400 freestyle, 15 years and over. Final. The last of the evening.
So, 400 freestyle, 15 years and over then. Midland was the fastest qualifier, 4:22.53. And 1, 2, 3, 4 swimmers in the centre lanes here. So we should be trying to get somewhere around the 4:20 or under here, I would think.
Is that supposed to be a gentle massage?
This is anything you want to do, timely, and then you will not put anything indoors races. Thank you.
And the 400 freestyle final is well underway. Mia Slevin is by far the favourite here. 4:22.53 was her heat swim, and she is already 5 meters or more ahead of the rest of the pool. Originally, of course, swam under the Pt.2 banner, so swam in Derby. Possibly not for very long in this pool, as it has only been open over the, well, less than a year. But halfway split for Slevin there, 2:08.23. But there is very little chance of anyone other than Asia Ko. Other than Mia Slevin taking the gold medal here. In lane 4, she is well ahead of the rest of the pool. She came 6th in the British Championships for 15:01 was her swim then. And her split at 350 then was 3:42.80. So we'll see how close she is to that over in 3:46.89. So we're going to be a fair way off the champ swim, but we would expect that at a lower key competition. Not nearly as much adrenaline pumping at a regional competition as there is at a national one. But no doubt about our winner on this final of the day. Mia Slevin takes the last gold that we're giving away, 4:18.56. It's a good chunk faster than she went in the heats. A little bit off the best that she can give, but as we said, not necessarily expecting a top tier swim, A, at this time of year, or B, at this type of meet. Fleur Lewis takes second. She picks up the silver with 4:24.95. And then Isabel Jobson takes the last bronze of the day. And that properly concludes, I promise it concludes, day number 1 here from Moorways. And I'm going to check before I read out the time that we get underway tomorrow. Tomorrow, yeah, warm-up is from 8:30. We start at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for watching, for putting up with me over the course of today. You've only got 2 more days left of that. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning from 9:30.